Hey guys, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. By a few requests, I decided to bring back another shrink plastic keychain tutorial. There's this popular multiplayer game called Among Us that almost everyone is playing during COVID season, and I got inspired to recreate the little crewmate characters into keychains for today's video. So jumping right into the tutorial, I started off by hand drawing the standard crewmates on some index cards. Then I used that drawing as a template to copy 4 more and customized each character with different hats as well. I even drew the little pets to go along with some of the crewmates as an additional charm. While doing this, I recommend looking up pictures as reference for the different designs if you aren't too familiar with what they look like exactly. To be honest, they're pretty much simple shapes that can easily be drawn. I then traced them onto some shrink plastic, taping down the drawing to the plastic to prevent anything from shifting while in the process of tracing. I bought these shrink plastics from Daiso, but of course an alternative to just buying them is to find plastic that are labeled number 6. I went ahead and sanded the plastic down to mattify and roughen out the surface with a nail file I designated for crafting. That way I can then be able to draw and color on them in pencils. Now that everything is neatly traced in pencil, it's time to move on to some coloring. I traditionally use my Prismacolors in almost every video, so I decided to change it up and use some Arteza color pencils this time. Link in the bio if you're interested in purchasing any good quality art supplies from them. I promise you they're amazing. Basically, I just colored them accordingly in different colors. I haven't colored in a while, so it was a bit tiring for me, but I'd say it's very satisfying to watch the process all sped up. For outlining, I recently bought these Posca paint markers in black and white, but I only got to use black in this video. I really like the look it gives off for outlining, but of course these are pretty pricey in my opinion, so using a Sharpie marker works pretty much the same. I then hole punched each design using a hole puncher to turn them into some wearable charms, and for the crewmates that I decided to attach a pet to, I hole punched the top as well as the bottom. The last thing to do before baking is to cut off the excess plastic, and I prefer leaving a centimeter border around the design to give the charm a more cleaner look. Now it's time to shrink them, so I lined a baking tray with aluminum foil and I popped them all in the oven. Just kidding, we are not going to pop them all in the oven at once. It's best to bake them one at a time so that you're more likely to keep an eye on that one charm in case anything happens to it in the process of shrinking up in the oven. So I baked each individual character at 265 degrees for a minute or until they flatten out in the oven. In case they don't and need a little help to straighten out, I recommend keeping a flat glass object on hand to flatten them the second you take them out of the oven while they're still malleable. Of course, when doing this, be very careful or have parent supervision if you're underage. Here's what the little crewmates look like after shrinking up in the oven. They're seriously so cute, but sadly I can't really hide the fact that 2 crewmates didn't make it. They look really smushed and I tried so hard to fix it in some way, but it was too late because they started to cool down almost instantly. I was really sad because I thought this video would be a fail. The shrinking process is the most nerve-wracking thing because you can never know when they fail to make it out of the oven. But anyways, we're gonna act like nothing happened and move on, you know? So to give the charms a little shine and protection, I first stuck the charms face up on some double-sided tape and used some Mod Podge to seal the color penciled surface of each charm. With a brush, I lightly dabbed a thin layer of Mod Podge first on the whole charm, waited for that to dry, and then lightly brushed over another thin layer on top. This acts as a layer of protection in case any smearing were to happen in the process of sealing them with resin. Because I am doming them in some UV resin, I had to relocate somewhere away from the window for this process, and I recently ordered this UV hardening resin off of Miniature Sweets because I wanted to try out new UV resin for a change, and I heard this was really good, so I thought I'd give it a try. But basically, I squeezed a good amount of resin on top of each charm, and I used a toothpick to help drag and evenly distribute the resin to each edge. I also felt a little extra as per usual, so I mixed in some glitter to one of the crewmates. Since I don't own a UV lamp, an alternative to this is to take them out in the sun to cure. This only takes about 15 to 20 minutes and they cured so fast, and the end result looked absolutely perfect. So after about 15 minutes, I took them inside, and being even more extra myself, I decided to dome the back of each charm as well. This is totally optional, but this time I mixed the resin in some pearl pigments, and basically the process repeats the same way as how I domed the front. So I have this tray on my car. Excuse my dirty car, but it's like the best time of day right now and it's like super bright on my car. I think it's a good spot and I'm really excited to see how these turn out. And there's a freaking fat bee, I can hear it. I'm gonna go inside. We're almost nearing the end, and the very last thing to do is to attach everything together and turn them into keychains. For this, I used a variety of findings such as jump rings and key rings to combine the little charms together. I also made a little beaded charm to go along with the color scheme of each charm, but of course you can personalize them however you would like to, but this is just how I decided to put everything together. So that is basically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really like how cute everything turned out and how the little pets are attached to the crewmates. This was pretty easy to make and can make such a cute gift idea for someone that plays Among Us, or maybe to just make it for yourself if you play the game too. Anyways, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Thank you so much for watching till the very end, and until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.